The new season picks up 5 months after the finale, both in the present day and on the island. So we're really seeing the ramifications of what happened in the season finale from season 1, from the earthquake and Tommy's death and the destruction of the soldiers on the island. Everybody's grappling with their actions, their inactions, their emotional turmoil. And when we pick things up, some people are in a very different place from where we last left them. Some people are in the same place, and I think it'll be interesting to see for the fans, where everybody sort of shook out.
Tommy is not where we left him. He moved. He got buried. He's no longer at CNRI. So, yes, he's physically moved from where he was. Yeah. A lot of new characters. Isabel Rochev is a character from the comics. She's played by Summer Glau. We introduced her in episode 1. We'll be introducing another character who will be a big player throughout the season in episode 2. We've been very cognizant of expanding the cast and expanding the world without losing our focus on our core characters. And in fact, if anything, this year, because of the various changes that we've made to the characters and their circumstances, the show's a lot more focused, and we're focused on this core group of people in a much tighter way than we were last year, and that allows us to then bring in some other satellite characters, because that's part of the fun of the show, is seeing who's going to come in and interact with our group. But we always want to keep our focus on our guys, because that's the show.
It's not a play for it so much as we've just had a lot of success doing that up until this point. We're genre fans. I mean, we love Firefly. We love Serenity. So, it's like, when you say, like, well, we have this amazing character who's, morally ambiguous, who's gorgeous and tough and can stand up to Oliver Queen. It's like, there aren't so many that many people who can do that. We've had John Barrowman. We've had Alex Kingston.
We've had, why am I blanking on names? Well, Manu in many ways.
Manu Bennett. We've just had tremendous success with people in genre shows, and I think we've managed to, first of all, I think cast the show very well, so that when these people come on the show, it doesn't feel so much like a gimmick as we got a really tremendously talented actor for a great part. And I think we've just treaded the line, carefully, that it's not become shtick, at least not yet. And you'll get a little glimpse at Summer's character in the sizzle reel that we're showing today, and I think you'll see that she fits right in.
Yeah. Well, it's an important part of the character's evolution. The show has sort of always basically been like, the television series long, tail arc, like Batman Begins, of a guy who comes home and he's bent on revenge and is slowly becoming a hero. This year really is about going from being the vigilante that he was last year to becoming a hero, and a hero who's not just about crossing names off of a list, but a hero who's actually really trying to do good in the city, and that's a lot harder to do than he thinks it will be at the outset. I'm looking above my head because that's where the decisions get made.
Yeah, that's above our pay grade. We've always tried. We've made allusions to Keystone City and Central City and other things in the show. That stuff is fun. I can't speculate about what'll happen between the cinematic universe. Right now we're just focused on the TV universe.
We'd love to know. We would love to know. We're not being coy.
That'd be
Find
great.
out. We'll read about it. Episode 2.
Well, actually, one of the things that's happening this season is that Oliver's taking more of an interest in the company, and you'll see him trying to use his company's power and his wealth to do good. Unfortunately, the events of the finale, his, as we say, his last name is now associated with mass murder because his mother was involved in the undertaking. So, a lot of, just as he's trying to change, from being the vigilante to being a hero, he's actually trying to change the negative, connotation of his name now to something better, and that influences his arc for the season as Oliver, and also Moira's arc over the season. Susanna Thompson. When we catch up with her, she's in a surprising place, and this season in a lot of ways is about her trying to redeem her actions from not just last season, but really what she'd been doing for the last 5 years.
She was involved, like Andrew was saying, she was involved in the undertaking for 5 years before the finale. So she's got a lot of, a lot of redemption work to do. Let's just say, but it's that I think is one of the things that excites us about season 2 is watching how Moira deals with the consequences of her own actions, and we're not shying away from them. We don't pick up 5 months later and it's and she made some plea deal on the side or whatever. We really are making it a focal point of the first half of season 2. Yeah, it's fun. He has, and it's I think we always knew he would, and it's for us. I think the most gratifying thing actually is watching him really embody the character of Oliver, and I feel like his performance has just grown by leaps and bounds as we've gone along, and he's actually come back in season 2 with a new spring in his step, and is even more charismatic, and has even more colors to play with as an actor. And
his muscles even more rippling.
They do ripple a little bit more, yes.